Hi, my name is Victor Sui. I'm assistant professor at Asper School of Business. My research is about strategy and innovation. Some of my studies concentrate on compensation dispersion and innovation performance in high-tech firms. Compensation dispersion or pay dispersion is defined as pay differences among employees. There are two types of pay dispersions. One is called vertical dispersion, which is about pay differences among employees across job levels, for example, between managers and non-managers. The other type is called horizontal pay dispersion, which is about pay differences between employees at the same job level. The influence of pay dispersion on innovation performance is controversial in the literature. Some of the researchers argue that pay dispersion or pay for performance system creates incentives for employees to work harder so that they can get paid higher, while the other researchers argue that pay dispersion can have a negative impact on innovation, on performance, simply because pay dispersion can create the feeling of unfairness, which demotivate employees to perform. In one of our studies that is forthcoming at a strategic management journal, we focused on the influence of horizontal pay dispersion among R&D employees on their innovation performance in high-tech firms. We argue that in R&D context, which demands a lot of collaboration and teamwork, pay dispersion will have a negative impact on innovation performance. This is because pay dispersion will discourage employees, and in this situation, the R&D scientists and engineers, to collaborate. They're reluctant to share knowledge, because if I share knowledge, then my knowledge advantage will decrease relative to my colleagues, and therefore there's a potential that my pay relative to my colleague will be reduced. We use a large longitudinal data set composed of 700,000 employee level compensation data to test our hypothesis. What we found is there is a negative impact of pay dispersion on employees' innovation performance. And this negative impact, however, is mitigated in firms where there's a large financial slack. That is, when the firms have a large financial slack, employees tend to react less negatively towards pay dispersion. In a follow-up study, we found that pay dispersion, one standard deviation increase in pay dispersion, will lead to a 16% decrease in the firm's exploratory innovation, which is about a critical innovation that is very important for the competitive advantage of firms in the long run. Compensating employees fairly and effectively is a challenging task. The takeaway message from our studies is that the design of pay dispersion depends on the workplace context. In a context such as R&D groups, where collaborations are demanded, equal pay is preferred. Pay dispersion can be applied only when there's a large financial slack, which guarantees that there will be an increase in pay in the future. Thank you.